Alright, so we got a few more things to do. I'm still waiting on those parts to put the old transmission in the 3-link bracket bar mount. So honestly, there's not much I can do right now other than just kind of plug away at rust and stuff. I've already got that oil filter on there. Well, I'm waiting on the oil filter, the adapter. The oil filter's in the order. Yeah, so, but there is one more thing that I need to do right away, and I have to take the belt off for that one. So, so, you see right here? Yeah, well, I need another hole about here. That carnivore diet really works. Right there. Let's do one more. Just for good measure. Alright. Man. Oh man, this is so look at how rust free this is. Like that's a little bit of black stuff or whatever. Like gunk. That's not rust. Like look at there's no rust. Except the fuel tank, and that's just because of condensation. I mean, other than these, like that's literally it, man. A little spot there. I mean, I had to fix that, of course, but I don't even know how to get under there to clean it. Like, I'd like to kind of like sandblast it and coat it. Because I'm afraid of that coming right through. The only other way you could do it is like just basically get in there with the lanolin sprayer or whatever just to coat it, but I want to like take the rust off, and that's the hard part. What am I going to do for a winter beater vehicle, man? Like everything I own is too nice. I know that's not a problem that many people have. But everything I own is too nice to drive and ruin in the winter. And I don't want to be caught in some beater, Like I got standards that, people gotta look at me a certain way when I'm at a stoplight. Not even that, really. It's like, man, like I want to drive something that I like as well. Because I've got so many vehicles. It's funny too, though, that realistically this wouldn't even be any better on fuel than my big F550. We have brand new inner fender wells. I might need a few of these clips, so I don't know how many of these are left. I could just steal some off the other Cherokee, the parts Jeep. But yeah, you can see like water's gonna get back here and rust, and you can already see some rust here. So trying now, like I say, I'm not sure I want to drive this in the winter, but we're gonna try and keep it as rust free as possible, even though no matter what. Gonna probably remove these. Believe it or not, these are made in Canada, which is pretty cool. So I kind of want to save on these. They even have the appropriate color scheme. So I have some aluminum off of aluminum mud flaps off of my Super Duty, that big white Super Duty. So I'll probably just steal those, and then because this is lifted anyway, I think what I'll do is I'll just get some I'll take these off too. Ooh, that one's barely hanging on. I'll get some some mud flaps, like proper mud flaps, and then figure out a way. Oh, there's a hole right here. Yeah, that'll probably do me partially anyway. And just literally just put regular 24-inch mud flaps down there. I might have to reroute that exhaust. Boy, is that ever crusty. That must have come off something else, because there's no way it's off this cheap. That's weird. It must be a replacement bumper too, because look at the rust on the bumper versus the spring mount. That's crazy. I don't know who would replace that bumper with just a stock bumper. I mean, these bumpers are kind of... I mean, yeah, okay, it's stock look and everything, but I mean... I don't think they were trying to go for that with this build anyway, so I don't know what's going on. Alright, so... I'm gonna check. I don't know if you can probably not see down in there, but there's, the blower motor intake probably is down there. Nonetheless, there's probably a lot of mouse poop and stuff down in there. I want to see if there's any nests. But apparently also it's a common leak spot around that intake. We're going to check that with the old endoscope. And after that, I'm probably even going to check like the frame rails inside, just to see what's going on in there. Alright, so we used the old endoscope. We went in this whole frame rail here. Boy, do I ever got to replace that shock. We did find a mouse nest in the front. Not too worried about that. I should be able to just blow it out. I didn't see really hardly any rust. There's like some rust on that, where that, what do you call that? The shock mount, I guess, goes through on the inside, like just that little tube behind that. But other than that, it's really just this rust, which I see now. There's a culprit. You see that little pop there, that little rusty piece of circular material? That's probably letting water in through the top. That's probably the cause of all this leaking and rusting. It's going to be pretty hard to get onto the top of that to get it fixed. Like cleaned off, coated even. So that's going to suck. But I mean, man, this is so rust free. I can't even believe, like, this is honestly one of the most rust free Comanches I have ever seen. Like, I'm sure you can find something in California that's cleaner, but this is one clean Jeep right here. I'm not too worried about that frame rail at all then, because usually it's the driver's side that's worse. That's just where the most salt is, on that side. But yeah, I'm looking at getting like a grommet set for like oval grommets and circular grommets to cover, like, to fill in these holes. Like, don't worry, I'm gonna leave like a couple open, like at the front and the back, so that there's like airflow, but at the same time I don't want water getting in. And if I'm gonna like undercoat it or whatever, I'm gonna do all inside these frame rails. So I would put, you know, whatever in there and then seal it with the grommets, but then leave one or two holes, especially at low points, to let any moisture that does get in there escape. I'm still thinking on that though, but I think that might work. Oh, I do have a trailer plug. Nice. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do about this other than just try my best. Alright, well, I took the rear fender flare off because I wanted to see what I'm dealing with. And I bet a lot of you guys out there that have Comanches have never seen this before, because it's always rusted out. Look at, even those, that is like pristine. I mean, you know, okay. I snapped off two of the studs. Okay, you know, sue me. But, I mean, I can fix that. That's no big deal. But look at that. That's crazy. You'd never see that here in Ontario. Mainly I took this off because I wanted to see how hard it would be. Because, okay, so this part, that goes into the bed. So you can see that's what you see inside the bed, right? But this part, that's what you see behind, and that's all rusted. So that's what I wanted to find out was if it's just if it's just a bunch of spot rivets, like I should be able to just like drill it out and then remove this. That way get it like properly fixed, you know? I was thinking of like why it would rust on this on the inside, but like nothing else. And I think it just comes down to like condensation maybe, because I've been dealing with quite a bit of condensation here. Dripping and raining on me. But I think because this was still an Alberta Jeep, so it would have been in the snow, but not the salt. So this would have been covered in ice and snow, and probably would freeze on the inside, and yeah, like it just collect condensation, right? So I'm thinking that may be it. It could also be because of this thick bed liner material or Z-Bart or whatever this is, that maybe just that thermal that thermal mass as well, just contributing to the condensation. But yeah, I mean it's gonna be a little bit of rust there, but that's nothing crazy. See, I'm not sure if it's. Here's the thing, like I can easily just drill it out. Of course, here would be kind of hard to drill out. I suppose I could just take the plasma cutter though. And because if I take the plasma cutter here to drill out these spot welds, then there's nothing stopping me from literally just putting a bolt to sandwich those back together. I could probably even just bolt it back through here, but I mean it might interfere a little bit with this inner fender, like that liner. But I mean if I shave it down enough, it should be okay. I can use pretty thin bolts and nuts. Man, yeah, I bet you a lot of you guys have never seen what a Comanche looks like that's either rust free or not cut. Man, I seen a video of a guy, I don't know where he was, I think he was in Pennsylvania or something, but he had a rust free Comanche and then he just cut this all out for big tires, right? I mean, I get it, you know, there's gonna be a few sacrificed that, you know, were rust free, but if it was me, like, man, I'd get a rust free truck or a rusty truck that's already rusted out and then cut it out, you know? It doesn't make sense to me to cut out something good. But maybe that's just me. But I have made the determination that I'm not going to drive this in the salt, because I have a place I need to get to on the other side of Canada, and my big truck is currently down. But I figure, well, I'm probably just better off fixing that big truck, the F550, and then driving it, because, man, like, I want to drive this in the snow and ice. I want to drive a Jeep in the snow and ice. It doesn't have to be a Comanche, but, you know, it'd be nice to have a Comanche that is already rusted, that I wouldn't feel so awful getting it full of rust and cancer. Because once it starts, man, you know, it's just a slow train. You can slow it down, you can sandblast it, but like trying to get in the inside of the frame, and you just, good luck, you know. Good luck. Like I can easily take the time and spray on the inside, but still, that doesn't always help in the long run. I don't know. Do I want to even bother? trying to drill that out. Because like I say, look at the inside. Because that's like, yeah, man, that's like, especially right here on the side of the bed. That's gonna turn to cancer pretty quick. Whether or not I drive it in the salt, just a little bit of rain would be enough to keep that going, condensation and whatnot. But if I start doing that too, it's gonna add a day or two to the total build time as well. And I have not got a lot of time right now. So I have decided that I'm not going to do anything with this right now. Yes, I forgot about these too. So these ones that I broke, I'm going to have to drill that out, and then I'll weld a little bolt that goes through there onto there. I finally got my table fixed. I had to weld that leg that I broke because apparently it's not rated for fat guys. So we're getting these things, going to be drilling those out. I still have to determine the thread size. I don't know, I can't find my stepper bit, so we're just going to drill them out, stick the new piece, or the new bolt in, and then weld just a couple patches. We got the fender out, or the flare off, I mean, and then the mud well out. Little bit of rust here, actually. I was kind of surprised to see this. So we'll get that cleaned up. And then otherwise, fairly decent. Standard issue. Other than the mouse in there, I don't know how we're going to get that cleaned out. I wonder if that's like open on the front there. But I seen this. And, the horn didn't work when I was driving it. So I figured, it's like some relay or something probably, right? Well, there's one wire going to this, which means this horn grounds to the body. And that means, because this wasn't connected, that's the reason it's not working. Problemo fixo. Got some warpage here. I don't know what that was from. Probably not me, actually. It looks like it was hitting the side rather than like pushed forward. I don't know. All right. So we got the new fender liner in, and looking all right. It's not. I could use a new clip there, and like it's not like perfect, like. But you know what? If it keeps the water out better than the other one, that's great. But at least most of these holes line up here. So yeah, so there was this extra flap here to protect like the horn and the back of the headlight, and I believe it always just kind of was pushed in there like that. That seemed to be kind of the way it looked like it was supposed to go. So I just bolted that down because it was just like a plastic rivet before. So we got these these brackets, support brackets, all fixed up, booger welded, and they are just drying now. Ran out of paint for this fender flare. Already cracked anyway. I just kind of patched it together with some duct tape, but just make it kind of the same color as the truck. That'd be nice. There we go, all installed. So this thing isn't just, it's not molded perfectly, and I could have some better, like wider clips here, because these holes are actually too big, so they kind of pop out. But luckily, because of the way this control arm was cut, I can kind of tuck that up underneath that little lip there, and so that it doesn't really fall out of that. But other than that, yeah, it's all tightened down. I'm gonna paint this on the truck, so I'll like mask that off and whatnot. I just think it's probably gonna be a little bit easier that way. There's quite a bit of gap to fill here. You can see like man, there's a huge difference in the consistency. All right, on to the next side. All right, well, there's a little bit more rust behind this side. It's thinned the metal out a little bit, but it's not through. Yeah. Ooh, that actually, yeesh, that's pretty bad there. So it's good I'm taking this side off anyway. Yeah, it's through just a little bit right there. Not enough that I think I'd need to worry about it right now, but yeah. So this is pretty cool. Well, this one isn't, but you can kind of see Ontario on there. But these must be the original Chrysler Canada Mopar genuine parts. Because I can't imagine being the shape that these were in, these being replacements. Especially because they had like little screw clips on the inside of the fender in some places. So I don't think this side was probably ever off. Maybe the other side was, but yeah. Definitely more rust than any other side. This is, yeah, not good. However, it's not within any of the holes. So I'm not sure if I'm going to worry about that right now. But I'm definitely at least going to get it cleaned up and coated with something. Boom, roasted. Boom, roasted. Boom, roasted. So I got these on. They look all right, you know. Probably fly off on the highway. It still doesn't want to come together, huh? It's just the way the plastic bends on the back of it, I guess. But it's all in there now. I actually had to remove the bumper to get at this and all of that behind there. And believe it or not, I ran out of white spray paint, so I ended up having to use a little bit of the black stuff. Not going to be a huge issue. You actually don't... Oh, yeah, I got to do that, I guess. Shouldn't be a huge issue. So, oh, this is how this turned out. So, yeah, we got a little overspray and whatever, and some matching issues, but this paint was pretty terrible. And it's still, even with that high build primer, it didn't fill all that in. So not super happy, but maybe from 50 feet